tangent, but the one I just went on didn't even record. And yeah, it's me again. This feels awkward doing it the second time because I just finished talking, but like, I'll just get my stuff together in less time, I guess. I feel like I finally found my calling. Not really, that calling is definitely space, but I mean like, just my little patch of blue sky and the overcast. Like out of the Lorax, if that stuff shone down on me. And it feels like that for a hot minute. And life just feels almost too perfect. Like all this stuff's going suspiciously well. I don't like to judge, but it's been years, and those years have gradually come to just absolutely eviscerate what little cues I could understand out, like, after my whole just like 11-year-old brain in the past. And it's funny, you know, everyone's gone on different paths with all their twists and turns, and I've still humbly just done this for the better part of over a decade and a half. I've just stuck to my roots, and like, all my bluffing had a reason behind it, I'd say. Obviously, yeah. I don't even know if this will save on the audio, but like, how did I put it earlier? Me actually moving up in the world. Just the cycle. It's like mountains that are always on the horizon that you can't truly ever get to because they'll stay at the same point on the horizon each time. If you can sort of imagine that, that's my analogy. And it took me years to finally go, that's enough, I can't take this, and actually step up. Not even to like do anything major, just say hi and get an entire friend group back. Some of the people watch this, and right now I see this more as me mindlessly screaming into the void because I'm recording this in advance and obviously there's no one to talk back to. But also it's like everyone's everywhere, I'm not. I've been sticking to like PlayStation the entire time. People are off on Steam and on Xbox, and like, if I'd done any of those other things, this could have happened a lot sooner. But it didn't. It's like I'm filling in the pieces that no one else has in my own niche. And that's just, that's crazy. I'm glad I'm not just someone of the past, like history. I've come close to that a couple times, but I'm not gonna go into that at all. Unless you actually know me and bother to hear my sad stories. But yeah, this world has just grown to the point where, like, I can't envision going through all this bullshit alone, really. All this, you know, what this generation is growing up into, as the first tech generation, Z, it's like, we're being made to deal with all the global warming and AI, and whatever wacky next 4 years this is about to be for now. And I don't want to say I'm glad at people suffering, because that's just sadism, but I mean, like, I'm glad people are suffering with me, and that we're all in this together. It makes me feel a lot, you know, hey, everyone's going through this too, it's fine. It's like that. And actually, this building I saw it flash in my head for like half a second when I woke up. Which brings me to another thing. This feels like a dream. Like, my little mind can't possibly comprehend that the pieces are falling into place. And, like, as I like to go back to saying, the stars aligning, because the universe just, whatever's out there, it just feels too good. Obviously, I can't feel like I just have it in the bag, otherwise my screen's probably gonna break or something. But, like, something's happening, some gears are turning somewhere, and that's good. I just want to feel like I'm a part of something. Not in the limelight, despite, like, what all the horoscope bullshit says. I don't know, I'm sure some pseudoscience person knows what any shit means, and if it's, like, meant to be, but, like, yeah, I've grown to just textbook introvert. I can't imagine those stupid crowds at, like, the rallies and stuff, and I know that that's all gonna get worse due to the fact that the clock is ticking, and, like, my days are numbered. There's under 90 left, I can tell. And, you know, I hope I can make change in those 90 days at least. Whatever. Minecraft may or may not be out of the window in pursuit of something I need money, or something I can get money out of, and, like, I'm much too small for any money to come out of YouTube. Like, niche internet micro-celebrity. I feel like the microscopic dot on the microscopic dot that says you are here. And it's like the total perspective vortex. But yeah, it's getting awfully cold right about now, where I am in the world. That wouldn't be a problem if the exact same thing didn't happen 3 years ago, circa No Man's Sky Companion update. It was that time where half the country froze to death, and where I am, which is completely obvious if you're someone who knows me, that power just got crippled. little layer of ice took a baseball bat to its knees and just hit them until they were bleeding. Except with the power grid of just a whole region of space. It's ridiculous, and that stuff gives me bad memories. I just have a hatred of snow for this reason. Because we don't get it on a seasonal basis. I wouldn't mind if we did, and I probably wouldn't hate it. But it's like we get it once every few years, and then the stuff just turns into yucky slush that freezes up all the roads and causes water not work, and people to poison themselves in their house with carbon monoxide because they're running their cars for the heat. And, you know, yucky weather is only the start of it, you know, because the entire planet is slowly getting hotter thanks to people. And all the other little things, like there's just robots faking everything. You can't tell what's what. It's like Blade Runner. You know, the fake people and the sheep. And I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Like that. You know, just to put a bunch of salt in the wound, really. And it's just like... It's ridiculous what the hell future I'm expected to actively walk into, like that of a bar or a saloon, where I'm just like, hey 2020 whatever, I'm here with all your flames. It's scary, and again, I'm just happy that I know I'm not going to suffer alone. I got people beside me, hopefully. Hopefully I'm not just gonna wake up and none of this is actually for real. Because I know damn well it is. I've pinched myself. My simple little mind just can't comprehend that I'm this far, and I guess it really just the effect of today is always the furthest you've ever made it in life. Day after the next, after the next. And I'm just happy that, you know, my tendencies haven't caused me to not exist. That's a really euphemistic way to put it, but I've just had those problems because too much loathing and self-doubt, and, you know, as Weird Al put it, the pain and isolation of your position in this meaningless universe or whatever. But like, I just want to take comfort somewhere and actually just sit back for once. Existence as a whole is much too stressful, and I do know that in however many amount of decades, all I say is going to be completely invalid, because there will be a time where nothing can be said anymore, and I probably won't feel anything. The idea of what happens after the Grim Reaper thinks that you've had enough is scary, but I guess the point is that, like, you might as well do shit while you can. Even if that shit's, you know, worrying about the economy and having to be productive instead of actually liking what you like. You know, I can't stress it enough. The state of the world makes me sad. I don't like where any of this is going. It's like every other day some big company just shatters their image because they thought robots could do a good job at substituting actual people that can draw. I'm slightly irked because I rarely draw. I've seen entire artists just bullied out of existence because, you know, remember when everyone was mad at stuff being traced? It's like that, except, well, now you can be original, but now people are just gonna blame that on robots. It's ridiculous. And just happy I'm not going into this blind alone. I'm going into this blind with a bunch of other people. Like, who knows if there even is, like, special anyone's, really. We're all just vibing on our own, and hopefully I can get something out of just chilling with others. It's something I've much needed, because my madness has left me alone with too many thoughts thrown out with just no eyes, no audience. Part of why I'm ecstatic that talking actually works, because obviously the recommendations are clearly they like someone who can talk, and you know, doing numbers. Absolutely. So shout out to my now 12 subs, because my last video aged like milk. Clearly. That's amazing. Everything I throw on here is kind of disjointed again, but like, is life not just a bunch of things that fall in place? Instead of actually, you can plan stuff out, but if you don't, shit just happens. There's nothing stopping things from just happening. You know, people are there. It feels a bit more halcyonic. I don't want to think it's too perfect, because the last thing I want to feel is that everything is for certain until I just get the undeniable proof that such is. And that's not anyone's fault, it's just the years have changed and my perspective has shifted. Not that, like, because of course, I've always been the big Minecraft nerd, and I still am the Minecraft nerd. Obviously, I'm not just yapping on a tangent in some other game. I've stuck to this even when, like, Fortnite first came out and everyone was on that. Feels like their entire existence is based off of crossovers. I'm talking right now because, like, my online friends are too busy cranking 90s as Miku. What a funny world. I could never get into that stuff, honestly. It's just not my alleyway. Not in the slightest. Like, one of these buildings, someone shoots you once, and then you build a fucking skyscraper. I never get that. And as it turns out, I don't have to, because I can't find it in me to care. There's only, like, probably a single digit's worth of games and things I'm willing to put my time into. And, you know, they might as well be crossplay, because I don't know if I said this in this video or the last recording I did that didn't save, but it's like my friends are everywhere I'm not. Obviously, on PS, I stuck to my guns. But, like, people are out on Switch and Steam and Xbox, and if I was on any of those other things, this probably would have just been settled a lot sooner. But I didn't want to just feel like I've grown detached. Because there's people that recognize me. I'm sure they're part of the sub menagerie, and if any of them see this, then without me having to be like, hey, I uploaded this, then yeah. But, like, those real people know what's up with me. I'm just funny dude with a... I don't know, I don't feel like my brain's in the right spot sometimes. Like, I know excessively how much is wrong with me. It's just a matter of... I don't know what it's a matter of, actually. I can't say I can get it settled at all. It's a court case. I probably should have turned on my mic for this video, but such already happened. You know, other friend groups, substitutes, in a way. I'm chill with them, but also the single worst thing coming for me is just time. Because I know I'm gonna be one of those people that only start to play this occasionally, and society expects me to just roll with it. Be another person in the system, another number. Just another being swept under the rug, and they're like, oh, 670,421 is gone. We haven't received their confirmation yet. And I feel like that numbering system is definitely what they do with prisoners, don't get me wrong. They're always like, hey, inmate 41. And I think I've just understood why they do that. Yeah, all these towers, their plans. I want this to be a dead-ass city, and it didn't save, but I have another city that's from like 2020. I'm not sure how many of these will come into fruition. Fun. But I guess it's the thought that counts, you know. I feel like I have too much ambition sometimes. You know, behind closed doors, it's just, yeah. It feels like I want too much to happen for my own good. But I still want things to happen. Like, even back in the abstract realm of friendships, I really can't find it in me to expect much out of it. It's not that people are disappointing, but I've just grown numb, and I'm just so desensitized to all of the little things. Someone's probably gonna find that quality of me, cringe at it, and turn around. But I have the decency to figure that, like, somewhere in those people is just acceptance of that fact. That I'm not just someone whose little mindset is shattered beyond belief. Because, you know, that's really what it feels like it's come to sometimes. Time passes and people move on, and we're all going into this blind. And it makes me happy we're all going into this blind because, again, like, literal dreams have happened to me. Not as some, like, cliche bullshit, but I guess more as my mind forcing me to actually address my problem and grip it. In terms of actually getting me to grow absolutely sick of my self-inflicted psychological torture and just finally decide to put it in a chokehold. Its shadowy limbs helplessly flailing about like that of a petty mockery of what it means to be a person. Only for me to slam it down the dim stairwell I've come to know and grow acquainted to over several years. The sound of the blunt and lifeless thud of it against the concrete and tiling rushing into my ears like a sense of utter finality after so long. Like it feels like I've finally come to end the cycle. But yeah, I don't really have a main takeaway from all of this. 2023 build is just... This feels like my place where I can scream into the void until I can manage to get people in my actual schedule again and feel like there's someone who cares out there and has my back. I need that warm feeling in my damn heart. I need that balm for my soul. Not in the form of like trippy music, but just... I need that stuff. There's no other way. Absolutely. It's... It just makes me feel... Just makes me feel rejuvenated. Even though we're all clearly just beyond our years almost. Like, I couldn't have imagined doing this shit back in, like, 5th grade, 3rd grade. We've all just grown, evolved, went through hell and back, though I'm not sure about that. I don't like to assume that about anyone besides myself, because I know that's why I'm so tainted and just numb. But yeah, to my 12 subs out there for me, I'm not the most consistent. Life is chaotic, but again, if you want to see the microscopic dot of a channel that is me exist and do any amount of numbers because I'm talking now, then hi. I guess I'm not going anywhere for the time being. I think this is absolutely sick, and yeah, y'all are chill. See ya.